guys, it's Treasure and welcome back to my chest. So the setting is a little bit different. My roommate was like, oh, you need to film in other angles of your room. So that's what I'm doing today. So the subject that I wanted to talk about is going to be similar to a subject that I've already talked about in another video, but I feel like I didn't go into depth about what I want to go into depth today. So that's why I'm making like a separate extra video for it. So the video I'm talking about is the one that says losing people is hard, but losing yourself is harder. I will probably put the link here. I've never put like a YouTube link like this, but I will try, okay? So you guys can go and refer to that. So basically in that video, I talk about how when you choose the self-help route, you start loving yourself, you start taking care of yourself, you're gonna lose people, okay? And you like, it's guaranteed. You either lose people because they misunderstand you and they just don't get it. You either lose people because you realize in your relationships which relationships are shit, so you might just cut people off. You lose people because some people are so used to a version of you that is in lack and that doesn't love themselves, that once you switch that up, they're just like, ew. They don't want the person or the version of you that is working on themselves and that is bettering themselves. They don't like it. And I was also talking a little bit about how, like, when you have big dreams and everything, you just have to cut people off. Anyways, today I wanted to talk more about the aspect of losing people in your life, but losing people that are toxic. Okay? Because I've had a situation this week that has kind of made me think about that, and I think I really like when I kind of go into the video and focus on my intuition and what has been going on in the week. I feel like it just flows way better that way than like go into a topic that I'm kind of forcing on. And it has made me realize a few things on other relationships that I've had in the past, and it's just, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna talk about this. So like I just said, when you choose yourself and you start loving yourself and you do the self-work, you're gonna lose people, okay? But what I have noticed is that like doing that shows you exactly who in your life was toxic as shit, okay? And now that I'm going back to all the other relationships that I have had that were toxic as hell, I am noticing that every time that I lost those people, it was always for the same reason. It was because I put a boundary, or I chose myself before I chose them, so they lost their fucking shit. So if you have toxic people in your life and you're unsure, start loving yourself. Start putting boundaries. Start doing the self-help. Start watching the videos about discipline, about taking care of yourself, about this and this and that. Do it. And you will see clear as day who is a toxic piece of shit in your life. I am for sure, okay? I used to be blind, so blind to the people that were toxic in my life. It was insane. I have also talked about this in the other video. When I give to someone and they don't give back, I tend to just give more, thinking that that person will just eventually come and balance it. That's not how it works, okay? When you do that, people take advantage of you. They do. And that's what has happened to me multiple times. And I have stopped doing this. Okay. Well, I'm working on it. But I am way better at it. And it's just, I'm gonna give some examples. I'm not gonna name any people. And I'm hoping that these people don't watch my content because they will recognize themselves. But maybe it is good that they recognize themselves so they can see that they're toxic pieces of shits. So yeah, let's go from the first most toxic person that I've had in my life. So when I was a teenager, I became very close to this girl whom I fell in love with. I'll be quite honest. And I was very in love with this girl. No matter what kind of crazy shit she would do to me, I would just like, it doesn't matter. I love her. And like, we were not dating, okay? We were not dating because every time that I confessed my love to her, she did not give two fucks, but she still wanted me around. So she would act in a way that like I would feel bad for having feelings for her and just put it back in and be like, you know what? She still wants to be a friend. Push it. Be her friend. It doesn't fucking matter. Just get on with it. And every time that I would do something for myself or that had nothing to do with her, she would lose her shit. Okay? I don't know if this is a good example, but one example is, like I said, I've told this girl multiple times that I was in love with her and she never reciprocated it. And so I chose myself at some point and I was just like, you have to get over this girl. Like, just drop it. Like, you have her as a friend. Just deal with the fact that you still have her in your life, because she could have been like, I'm out of here. She's annoying. She didn't. So then I eventually got closer to another girl. And I started dating this girl. And I was just like, damn, I'm finally getting over her. I can date other girls. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. And guess what? This bitch came out of nowhere saying, oh my God, like, I'm so sad. I'm so depressed. I was just like, what's going on? I'm in love with you, but like, you're not in love with me and you're with somebody else. Excuse me. Excuse me. So you're telling me I've been in love with you for years. You've rejected me every time, despite the fact that you're tagging me along, playing the game, trying to make sure that I'm still in love with you, because I'm telling you, some shit happened between her and me and this girl. I'm gonna call this shit out. I fucked her twice, and she's going around telling she didn't fuck me. But anyways, she was doing the things to make sure that I would stay in love with this girl. And the moment that I'm like, hey, I am in love with somebody else, I can just be friends with you finally, she's like, oh, nah, because I love you. So I fucked with my mind. I was just like, what do I do? Why are you doing this to me? Like, toxic people, when you choose yourself before you choose them, that's when they go crazy and they start doing so crazy ass shit. And I'm just like, this is just one example that came to my mind. But this girl, there's so much shit that has happened with this girl in my life. And to this day, in all the toxic relationships that I have had, I still think she's the craziest bitch I've ever met. And I hope you're watching, because I know you be watching my videos, sis. Anyways, I'm being a little bit fucking hostile today, but I'm just at a point in my life that I am so fed up with toxic people. And I haven't been talking to this girl for a long time, but I've had more people like that come into my life, because I have noticed that when you don't love yourself, you don't respect yourself, you don't put boundaries, you will constantly attract these kinds of people in your life. After I had her, I had somebody else that fucking played with me. Like, the next example, I think, is a group of friends that I made online, okay? And this was still around the time where I hated myself. I was so annoying, so negative, such a lack mindset. Like, shit was just, it was not going on, okay? So I attracted these people in my life. Of course, at first, I did not see these people as toxic. I saw, hey, I'm making a group of friends online. They are amazing. We're talking on Discord. We're talking in the chat rooms. I actually was super happy when I met these people, because I'm the type of person that has always dreamed of having a group of friends that are just talking to each other every day, hanging out with each other all the time. Like, initially, I met these people online, but we met in real life. Like, the group was like 2 girls, 2 guys, if I'm not mistaken, in the beginning. And I ended up dating one of them in the group, and he was also very toxic, but and at first I was just like, oh my God, like, I met these people online. I have a group of friends. Like, I'm dating him. This one's crushing on her. Like, it was giving me the type of group of friends that I've seen on TV and I've always wanted for myself. So I didn't see the red flags, okay? I saw them. Malfoy, can you please? Sorry, my cat is gonna be bothering me during the video. My train of thought. Yeah, these people, I saw them like as a group of friends, just like in the movies, just like in the shows. And I was so fucking excited, especially since it was in a point in my life where I was very depressed. So they were kind of giving me life. I was kind of hanging on to that group of friends and be like, oh my God, I have friends. But as time grew, I have noticed that they were very toxic, and they were kind of encouraging me to be toxic. Like, I ended up being very for the drama, very like stirring shit up, very like bully vibes. And like, I honestly, when I think back of how I was when I was around these people, I don't recognize myself. I really don't. And it was always drama, 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 drama. Like, one of this girl in the group, like, she would live for the drama. Like, when she found something out, she couldn't wait. She couldn't wait to tell people about it. She could not wait. And like, she would like be giggly and everything. And like, I'm telling you, anyways, I didn't see the red flags. And this girl, I actually became really, really, really good friends with her. Like this. I was convinced that we were the bestest of friends. I was like, oh my God, I have a good, non-toxic best friend. Girl. No, that was not true. That was not true. I was very wrong about that relationship. And like, I was so open to these people as well. I was telling them secrets. I was telling them things about my life. But like, as soon as something happened in the group, they were so fucking excited to start drama. Like, I do remember that there was this situation where the guy that I dated in the group, me and him, it was really toxic. So we were the kind of relationship that would like on and off constantly. We would date, then we wouldn't date. But when we wouldn't date, we would fuck, and we would date again and then argue. It was just constant. And we got into a point in the relationship where we were on a break, okay? But we went out, and my dumbass, being petty and drunk when we were out, I started fucking flirting with the server that was there. And this man thought that, oh, you be flirting with somebody else? Bet I'm gonna do something worse. So behind my back, he flirted with another girl in the group, and he ended up fucking her. And despite the fact that my bestie was also friends with this girl, when she found out, she was excited to tell me. Can you tell? Like, I'm telling you, she was giggling. She was giggling. She was like, oh my God, I found this out. And I lose my mind. Because back then, again, I was such in a bad place mentally that finding that shit out sent me into, like, I am not someone that gets angry easily. Like, if I get angry, it's really because you fucked me up. And the reason why I was so angry is because this girl, we had a whole ass conversation. Like, we were 3 girls, my bestie, me, and that girl that he fucked. And we were all having conversations talking about boys. And I was like, oh, I still love my ex. I don't know why I'm not with him. And this whole time during this conversation, she was saying things like, oh, I have this crush on this guy, and blah, 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 blah. But she wasn't telling us any details about the guy. And it just so happened that she was talking about him. So while we were girl talking, and I'm over here talking about how I still have feelings with my ex and I don't know what to do, she's over here subtly talking about him as well, and the fact that she fucked him. So anyways, when I found that out with the bestie that was like giggling and being really happy to tell me about this type of drama, I lost my mind. I really lost my mind. I called this bitch and I told her off. I had never told anyone off in my life the way that I have told this person off. It was crazy. And guess what? The best friend was laughing. She was on the call just laughing her ass off, being so happy about it. And back then, I didn't realize how unhinged that is. Like, the situation was so unhinged and I didn't realize. And now I'm going into so much detail about these people, but like, I'm getting pumped up. There's things that like I feel like I've never said on the channel because I don't want to sound like hostile or sound like I'm trying to do shit, but it's just like I feel like I need to speak my truth. And this is my experience with toxic people in my life. And I have lost these people and have seen their true colors when I decided to choose myself and put myself first. So I moved in another city. So I wasn't in the same city as them anymore, but that was a very like impulsive thing that I did in my life to make me feel better because I was really in a very, very low point in my life. And we had a Discord server and I noticed how toxic everything was getting on that server. So I was just like, okay, I love you guys. Like, I still want to be friends with you guys. I love everything, but I need to take a step back from the server because the server is toxic as fuck. I cannot deal with it anymore. Guess what? They all turned on me because I left the server. They all turned on me just because I left a Discord server because it was getting too hard for my mental health. They started alienating me and acting like I was a devil for even having the audacity to leave a Discord server, as if I can't still speak to them in another way, as if we can't just have our own group chat with only our friends. No, they lost it. And not only that, they decided to bully me in another server that we were in that wasn't theirs, that was like a friend of a friend. And because they saw that I was still in that server, they bullied the shit out of me in a fucking chat room in front of everybody. Pushing out secrets that I had told them, insulting me like they hadn't been the bestest of friends to me in my mind for the past weeks and months. Me like going to the movies with them, me going out with them, like feeling like I finally had like a group of friends that gave a shit about me. But then I noticed that this whole time they did not give a shit about me. They were just making fun of me. Yes, because I have noticed that they were laughing a lot when I was around them. And I thought that it's because I was funny. Girl. They were making fun of me. And as soon as I said, hey, you guys are toxic, I love you, but let me just take a step back, they lost their shit. They have lost their shit. So again, when you choose yourself and you do things for you, for your mental health, and you are someone that is still in the I hate myself, lack myself, blah, 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 lack mindset. If you're still in that really negative vibe, you're going to attract people like them, and you're not going to see the red flags. You're not going to get it until you finally put yourself in perspective and you're like, okay, let me just be careful, do this for me so I feel better because I feel a certain way. They're going to turn on you like there is no tomorrow. That is only example 2. I have 2 more examples for this situation because I'm telling you, it's a pattern. All the most toxic people in my life, they have turned on me when I chose myself. Always. Always. So when you choose yourself and you do something for yourself and someone starts acting up, sorry. So, third example is my ex-fiance. I'm being like petty for everybody today. So a lot of people in my life that know I do YouTube want me to make a video about him because the story about me and my ex-fiance is kind of crazy to the general public, but I am not ready to put myself in that mindset to go through everything that happened with him because I am traumatized from this relationship. And I do think that it's going to be very hard mentally for me to make an actual video talking about only this. But I will go in a little bit of details. So I had a long distance relationship with this man that lived in Europe. I will not say the country for now. And everything was just too perfect from the beginning. After only 3 days of talking, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I said yes. After 3 to 4 months of talking, I went in his country in Europe and he asked me to marry him. And I said yes. Despite my intuition when I was over there telling me that there was something wrong. But back then, I still didn't love myself. And I accepted the love that I thought I deserved. And this man was giving me more than anyone else that I had had in my life before. So I was convinced that this was a good relationship, that he was a good man. Okay. Fast forward, I am engaged to this man. Comes January, he gets arrested. Okay, I was aware that he had a case of something that he had done in the past, which is not something crazy. Well, it is something crazy, but like not crazy. So he had warned me about it, but for some reason they opened back up the case and they arrested his ass. So and this was January 2020, okay? So this man gets arrested, goes to jail, asks me if I want to wait. me desperate, thinking I'm like super in love with this man and this is a man of my life. I'm like, how? Of course I do want to wait for you. You're my sweetheart. 2 or 3 months later, COVID starts. So not only was I waiting for this man while he was in jail, I was stuck in my house alone during COVID, waiting on him. So I waited for him for 14 months, if I'm not mistaken. 14 fucking months of being in a long distance relationship with someone that lives in another country and that is in jail. So there's weeks that I wasn't even able to talk to him. When I started talking to him, I could only talk to him for 5 to 10 minutes on the phone, 1 call a day. Then eventually, because of COVID, we got lucky. They introduced Zoom calls like once a week where I could talk to him on a camera for 30 minutes. Like it was shit, but I was loyal to this man. I was talking about this man to everybody in my life. I was talking about our story to everybody in my life. I was convinced that this man was the man that I was going to start a family with and be with. But there was a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags. And I was blind to them because of how convinced I was that this man was the man of my life. I was focusing on the green flags and ignoring all the red flags, despite the fact that the red flags were way worse than the green flags. And I'm telling you guys, like, when I say the red flags are bad, they are bad. There's things that I'm not going to be saying on camera right now because literally, like, I'm just going to keep it for the video if I actually talk about this man, because this man is crazy. And the reason I've been finding it so hard to talk about him is because I'm pretty sure he's narcissist. I'm pretty sure. And I'm kind of scared to make a video about him because I don't know if in his mind he's just gonna be like, she's talking about me, oh my god, despite the fact that I'm just gonna be talking shit and stating facts about how crazy this man is. But anyways, I lost where I was going. So I waited for this man 14 months when he was in jail, and when he came out, obviously, we're still long distance, okay? So we were doing calls, we're doing everything. Everything looked fine. I was super happy. I was like, finally, he's out of jail. Everything is good. Eventually, he started acting weird. Like, real weird. Like, not responding to me for hours. Not, like, being just very rude. And my intuition was just telling me there's something going on. There has to be something going on. How is it that you waited this long for this man while he was in jail, being fucking loyal to him during COVID, and only a few weeks after he comes out, he starts acting weird in a way that he had never acted with me before? And I was just like, my intuition was screaming at me. My intuition was screaming at me so hard to leave this fucking man. And that's what I did. I was just like, we only have communication through phone and through things. So if you're ignoring me, you're being weird, like, this is driving me insane. So I let my intuition take the lead and I dumped him. A few days later, suddenly his sister just calls me, talking for 40 minutes about how he's so in love with me. He this and this and this and this and that. And I'm just like, I'm so dumb back then. And I'm just like, oh my God, I regret what I did. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I took him back. And guess what? He dumped me. This man's ego was so hurt that I chose myself and decided to leave his ass for being a weird ass motherfucker, considering the fact that we had a long distance relationship and I just wasted almost 2 years of my life waiting for him. I don't know if his sister was involved, but his family is so fucking whack that I wouldn't even be surprised that he purposely got his sister to get into my mind just so I could go back to him, ask him to get our things out, that I was probably being too impulsive, and he fucking dumped me because he wanted to have the upper hand and want to be the person to say, I dumped you. And funny enough, behind his back, I had talked to his ex, and she told me that he was going around telling people that he dumped me before I actually, like, went back to him. So he was already lying, telling people that he dumped me. So it's like he took me back just so he could dump me for real and make it that the lie was true. So again, someone that I fucking decided, hey, they're not good for me. I'm going to take a step back, put some fucking distance. No. I got fucked over again. And then there's another one, the last one. My ex-best friend. I thought this girl, I would be her friend for my whole life. Okay, this is the type of person that I have introduced to so many people in my family because I considered her like a fucking sister. This is someone that I would have seen myself get my kids at the same time as her. She would be the fucking godmother. I'd be the godmother of her kids. We would talk about family vacations. We don't even have any husbands, anything. We went through so much trauma bonding because of all the jobs that we had together that were traumatizing the shit out of us. I had never in my life been so close to someone in a friendship. This to a point that so many people that either knew us or didn't know us thought we were dating. We were not dating. We never dated. There was never nothing crazy in the dating, no flirting, no nothing. We were just really, really, really good friends to a point where I felt like she was my sister. I felt like she was my sister. And I never thought in my life that I would lose her. I never thought in my life that I would go on and not have this girl as my best friend. And guess what happened? I lost her. And when I think about it, I have noticed that I lost her when I tried to choose myself first. So we used to live together and we were both very depressed in a lack mindset, limiting beliefs. We hate our jobs. We're broke. We have this, we're that. So like the fact that we were both like this, the energy in the house was getting really intense. But while we were living together, I think the second year we were living together, I was getting a little bit more into tarot. I was getting more into manifestation. I was slowly getting into the self-help route and trying to be more positive, talk affirmations to myself. So I was trying to influence her to do the same. But obviously you can't force people to go down the self-help route. Okay, you can try and talk to them, get like little hints. It's not always going to work. And I was trying, but it did not work. And unfortunately, we kept getting into fights, and I got into a point where I'm just like, we can't live together anymore because I care about you, I care about our friendship, and if we keep living together in the mindset that we are right now, we're not gonna be friends anymore, and it's gonna blow the fuck up. And she agreed. We were just like, hey, everything's gonna be fine, we're just gonna move out, we're gonna be separate, and we're gonna be able to keep our friendship. And another thing, I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't want these people to look at my video and think I'm like talking shit again, because that's not what I am trying to do. But we went into a situation where I had to put my foot down and put boundaries and call her out on something that she did. And unfortunately, me putting boundaries and being like, hey, you did that, that's not okay, you have to do this to fix it, she did not like that. Oh my God. She twisted everything to my side, made me seem like I was the devil, made me seem like I was such a horrible friend to her, to have the audacity to put boundaries because she did something that was unacceptable. She just twisted it all. And from her point of view, I am a devil for having the audacity to put myself first and be like, hey, no, what you did is not okay. I will not permit you to do that, and you will have to fucking check yourself. And she was like, oh, nah, sis, nah. So guess what? Not friends with her anymore. Like I said, if you have toxic people in your life and you want to get rid of them, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Learn to love yourself. Get into the self-help books. Find out about the universe. Do everything that you can to finally put yourself first and look how toxic the people around you were. Because again, when I said when you don't love yourself, okay, you don't put any boundaries, you don't respect yourself, you are going to attract people that don't respect you, that don't give a shit about your boundaries, and that will take advantage of you until you are drained. That's what they do. And when you turn on them and you finally say, oh shit, no, I have to take care of myself, they're just gonna be like, oh, hell nah. I'm either gonna hurt you or I'm gonna do something that will make you regret it. That's just how people work nowadays. And I had another situation this week. I'm not gonna talk about this one because it's just kind of more niche, but that's when it made me realize, like, some people in your life are just toxic. And some people just don't want to change. That's just how there is, and you just have to deal with it, and you just have to put yourself first. Take care of yourself, okay? Because if you don't, you're, like I said, you're gonna keep attracting the same type of people. The universe will keep throwing these shit ass people in your life until you learn the lesson. And the lesson is to love yourself and to be comfortable with yourself first. And when you do that, you attract the right people. Perfect example. The last best friend I just talked about, we were roommates. And she made me feel like I shouldn't be going with a roommate anymore. I should just live alone because shit hit the fan. And guess what? I finally got her out of my life, and she was replaced with another bestie that is way better than her, that loves me for who I am, fucking encourages me to work on myself, encourages me to follow my dreams, and with whom I live with and have a healthy relationship. And I've had multiple roommates in my life, okay? And this is the most healthy, most vibey roommate relationship that I have had, okay? So yes, it's going to be sad to lose people in your life. Yes, it's going to hurt when they're going to turn on you and show you who they really are. But the universe will reward you with someone better. And my roommate situation is exactly that. I have noticed that like I said, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid, and you're going to have to heal through it. But once you put yourself first, then you're going to attract the people like my roommate right now that gives a fuck. And I will be there for you for the real you, and not be there just because they can take and take and take from you. Okay? So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I know this sounded a little bit more like I was just trying to call people out from my past. I guess it is. If they're watching my videos, first of all, what the fuck are you doing? Truly. And funnily enough, before I started doing YouTube, I could tell you exactly who in these people are still subscribed to my channel, but I'm assuming that by now they haven't subscribed. If they haven't, hi, how you doing? How you feeling that I'm not depressed and I have my shit together? How do you feel about that? Okay, bye guys, I love you. See you next week.